Okay, so this is going to be a very controversial video because typically you don't see beef going on that involves Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, but you do see beef going on with the individual that's dragging Tom Brady into everything. Now, before we get to the content, do me a favor and sack the like button for the YouTube algorithm, consider subscribing and turning on our notifications, and of course, make sure you check out my new gaming channel, Microphone Gaming, if you happen to be into games. Now that I got all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? For you to really understand this entire story going on between Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, you have to understand who Tom Brady's trainer is. Now, Alex Guerrero is someone that Tom Brady really holds in high esteem and is a very controversial figure. As a matter of fact, if you look at this beautiful 2015 article on him by BostonMagazine.com, apparently he's being accused of being a glorified snake oil salesman. He did stuff like faking being a doctor and claiming his products could cure cancer and concussions, but currently Tom Brady is partnered with him in order to create his wellness brand, and honestly, as time progressed forward, I mean, you have to admit, Tom Brady has the greatest longevity out of any NFL quarterback in NFL history. The man's won more Super Bowls than any NFL team in NFL history. So whatever his trainer says in regards to your ability to keep your body in shape and keep your body in a situation where you can prolong your career as much as possible so you can win as many Super Bowls as possible, I guess should be held in high esteem. That's regardless of whatever sketchy stuff he's done in the past. But it's really important to note this because when Tom Brady met Alex Guerrero in New England, Alex Guerrero was involved in a lot of controversies. There was a point where Bill Belichick reportedly banned Tom Brady's trainer from the Patriots plane back in December of 2017, and this entire rift was very highly publicized about 4 years ago. If you look at this article from CBS, it explains how Bill Belichick has taken steps to limit Alex Guerrero's presence around the team, including banning him from the team's private charter and sideline on game days. Belichick also permitted Guerrero, Brady's close friend and business partner, to secure his own office near the Patriots locker room, fly on the team charter to road games, and receive credentials to work the sidelines of every game, home and away. But this season, the Patriots coach, and this season is referring to, I guess, the 2017 season, has reversed course. For reasons he declined to explain, Belichick weeks ago stripped Guerrero of his special team privileges, restoring a measure of tradition to the team's medical and training operation, according to several people familiar with the Patriots' internal operations. Guerrero was now banned from boarding Patriots jets, his sideline access has been revoked, and he no longer is permitted to treat players other than Brady in his exclusive office at Gillette Stadium. So there were some controversies surrounding Guerrero in the past, but this sounds very Belichick-like. Maybe Guerrero was becoming too much of a distraction. You know how Bill Belichick is all strictly football, and maybe Guerrero was really trying to expand to other Patriots players other than Tom Brady, or maybe there was some sketchy stuff that happened behind the scenes. Now, the reason I'm telling you all of this is we all know what would end up happening. During the 2018 season, the New England Patriots would beat the Los Angeles Rams in a Super Bowl in what was Tom Brady's worst offensive performance in a Super Bowl to date. It was a fairly defensive Super Bowl, but Tom Brady would eventually transition and make his way to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where he resides today, putting up MVP statistics at the age of 44, and for the most part, he credits his trainer for keeping him in remarkable shape. Well, a few days ago, Tom Brady's personal trainer, Alex Guerrero, called out Bill Belichick in how he treated Tom Brady, which is the reason why Tom Brady exited and left the New England Patriots after 20 seasons in 2020. And this is the direct quote that he told the Boston Herald. It was like Bill never really, I think his emotions or feelings never evolved with age. As Tom got into his late 30s or or early 40s, I think Bill Belichick was still trying to treat him like that 20-year-old kid that he drafted. And all the players, I think, realized that Tom was different. He's older, so he should be treated differently. And all the players, none of them would have cared that he was treated differently. And he doubles down on this claim, saying that I think that was such a Bill Belichick thing. He never evolved. So you can't treat someone who's in his 40s like they're 20. It doesn't work. Now, in regards to this, I don't think he's discussing Bill Belichick as a football tactician, because Bill Belichick is notorious for his ability to evolve with the times, especially in the way he creates masterful game plans around each and every team in the NFL. I mean, you're talking about a guy that literally dismantled the Los Angeles Rams' breakthrough offense in 2018 in literally one game on national television. Sean McVay literally was on microphone saying that he was outcoached. I don't think Alex Guerrero is referring to this. He's referring more in terms of how Tom Brady was treated behind the scenes. Now, in a sense, I could kind of agree with this. At the same time, you have to understand, if you're working with a specific individual for a long enough time, eventually egos can get in the way if you experience such tremendous success. And the fact that Belichick and Tom Brady have been able to last for 20 years, I think in of itself is tremendous. It's honestly remarkable. It's very rare to have an instance where you're experiencing this much success and there isn't some turmoil behind the scenes. And maybe at a specific point, Belichick could think that, hey, I won the Super Bowls because of my expert game planning and my ability to tell Brady what to do. Tom Brady could feel like he's a little underappreciated. As a matter of fact, he's gone on record to say, well, not really say, but to imply that he feels underappreciated.
And obviously in any relationship, particularly one that's been successful and had such a long run, whether it's a friendship, a marriage, a working environment, there's going to have peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
And so when Giselle says feel appreciated, this brings to mind Coach Belichick and Mr. Kraft. Do you feel appreciated by them, and do they have the appropriate gratitude for what you have achieved?
I plead the fifth. Look, man, that is a tough question. Yeah, I mean,
your wife seems to indicate.
Yeah. I think everybody in general wants to be appreciated more at work, in their professional life. But there's a lot of people that appreciate me more than, way more than I ever thought, was possible as part of my life. So
you take it from them?
Well, I think it's, you have different influences in your life. And I think the people that I work with, they're trying to get the best out of me. So they're trying to treat me in a way that they feel is going to get the best out of me. And, I've got to get the best out of myself. I think what I'm learning as you get older is it comes from within. The joy, the happiness, those things come from inside. And, to seek that from others, to seek that from outside influences, people you work with, people that cheer against you or cheer with you, or, I feel like it comes from within for me. So I'm trying to build up what's within me so that I can be the best for me, so that I can be the best for other people.
Now, Tom Brady reacted to this information, and it's the most Tom Brady response that he could give, saying that everybody has protective feelings and emotions as friends and family members. That's just a part of being in sports. A lot of people who, because they're not out there, they want to protect, and it's a very caring, loving thing that people do. But from my standpoint, I had a great time. Now, I guess this is just to build up anticipation for when Tom Brady returns to the Patriots on October 3rd, but check out what else Guerrero said. People could have made different choices, and they could have rode out the sunset together, and that could have been a pretty cool story too. Now, Bill Belichick responded to this as well, saying that I know there's a lot of interest for obvious reasons in next week's game, but we're focused on the Saints here, and on Monday we'll get to next week. And honestly, these are very typical responses. Tom Brady gives one last statement at the very end, but before I get to that, I think it's really important to note that I think the one mistake Belichick made here is I don't think he's going to ever find another quarterback that will take pay cuts the way Tom Brady did. And I always say that I think that's a huge contributing factor to Tom Brady's success. And I think that's why he's experienced the success he did. Not to take away from him as a quarterback, but I think the most underrated attribute that Tom Brady has is his situational awareness for the game of football is on a level that we've never seen in NFL history. I mean, taking pay cuts consistently to help the Patriots improve other aspects of their team, and then going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who had a loaded wide receiver core, a phenomenal pass rush, signing a below market contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. To give you an idea, Tom Brady gets paid as much as Derek Carr does, $25 million a year, which makes him tied the 17th highest paid player in the entire NFL. And I think Bill Belichick lost out on that, and maybe egos got in the way. Brady thought he could do it with another head coach, and Belichick probably thought that he could do it with another quarterback. Guerrero continues and says that Tom Brady and I have spent a lot of time together, and we really haven't spent that much time talking about week 4. We've really spent a lot of time just talking about the week that we're in and trying to stay focused on that. But I know how I would feel coming back, and I would think he would feel the same. There's a lot of years spent there. There's a great excitement to see there, be there, feel the energy, see the fans, feel the fans. I think it's going to be very exciting. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. We're going to work on a deeper documentary video as to the real reason why Tom Brady left the Patriots. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.